Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to Train Simulator Classic. Today we are here at Manchester Piccadilly. We're going to be working this delightful Class 158, which is enhanced by Armstrong Powerhouse in the East Midlands Trains livery. We've got a Perkins 158 858 on the front, and if we flip down to the back here, we've got a Cummins engined 158 785 on the very back. Now, we'll just get our cab set up. We are at Manchester Piccadilly. We're on a Norwich-bound service today, so let's just get our instrument lights on. We've got all our lights on anyway at the front. Got Norwich on there. Put our key in. There we go. Oh, we don't need it in forward, do we? That'll do for now. Yeah, everything is pretty sorted. And yeah, we've just got Trains' Hope Valley. I apologise that it's taken so long to do a run on this, but yeah, I've been really looking forward to it. I have actually not been here to do it, so yes, apologies for that. But yes, at last we get to do this. Now, I've already watched the showcase from Trainsim TV. Absolutely loved it. Thought there was a few little bits that was a little bit weird, like they said, oh, we've not done a lot of detail around Piccadilly, like in the outside, because it helps with frames. I'm really surprised it doesn't run to Oxford Road, because Oxford Road is usually like on things like Hazel Groves and Manchester airports, etc. I don't know so much about East Midlands, but I'd imagine Transpennine will be the same when they start running to Liverpool via Cheshire Lines. I imagine that will be the same, but yeah, a lot of the crew changes take place at Oxford Road, so I did find it a little bit weird that that wasn't included. I don't know why I'm buzzing, because of course it is RA Dispatch here at Manchester Piccadilly, but yeah, obviously Trainsim doesn't know that. Yeah, a couple of little things like that that are a bit weird. I would have quite liked to have seen Oxford Road. I feel it's not a lot further up the track, but then again it is further up the track, isn't it? So perhaps I've been a little bit demanding in asking for that. But yeah, just a couple of little weird things in the showcase, but for the actual like lowdown on the route, I would recommend you go and watch that. I'll put a link to that video in the description. I imagine most of you will probably have already seen that already, because if you're watching this, you'll probably be excited for the Hope Valley. But yeah, this isn't like a lowdown on the route. I happen to sign this route in real life, so I thought it'd be quite nice to just take a little drive down it and see what is what. So yeah, just leaving Manchester Piccadilly now. We're coming out of a Piccadilly East Junction. We've got a nice little, you can see the ground position like that. That's the doodah. It's a little loop. I can never remember what the flipping thing's called, but yeah, Piccadilly East Junction and the Loop. You don't tend to see passenger services in there. In fact, you don't tend to see a lot in there. Every now and then you can see like a 319 that's broken sat there. I don't really know, to be perfectly honest with you. Right, hang on, let's get a bit of throttle. Ooh, 40 mile an hour. I mean, this is a 158, of course. So it will take forever to get there. We're playing one of the scenarios, 1 Lima 1-3. I realise this is all coming out in a funny order, so that's why we've got an LMS livery Pendolino there, because this is a scenario that actually comes with the route to cut down on dependencies for the scenarios that come with this. Yeah, that's why there's an LMS Pendolino there and not an Avanti West Coast / Virgin Trains version. Now, as I say, this is in 2018, so there's a couple of little differences. Northern is still owned by Arriva, East Midlands is still owned by Stagecoach, Lord knows what Avanti are doing, and Transpennine are still Transpennine. That's pretty much all we're going to see today, I think. Oh, we might see a Transport for Wales between here and Stockport, but I can't remember if it was Arriva still. No, I think it was Transport for Wales. No, it was Arriva. Oh, I don't know, leave me alone. Yeah, we're just about to go past. Oh no, we've gone past Arbit Junction. That's all the way back there. Christ, time flies when you're having fun. Coming down to Longsight Depot here. Oh, hang on there. I need to keep pressing the doodah. Now, yeah, I also thought that it was a little bit weird that they said, oh, we've not simulated Longsight. Look, all the doors are shut. You can't drive in there because, you know, there's no services that you'll be using. Which, of course, to that I say, Transpennine Express Class 68s and Mark 5s. I know there's no Mark 5s, is there? But 68s are definitely stored on Longsight, and it would be great to be able to do little shunt moves around there. But the depot is relatively accurately done just from the outside. Right, there we go. Are we having a little slow down to 45 here? So yeah, that's all alongside depot. We're just slowing down. We've got Slade Lane Junction here, just coming up now. So you're going up, down, up, down. Those are the lines now, if you see what I mean. So it's like 2 lines going where we're going, 1 and 3, and then the 2 and 4 are going the other way. And then there's this weird little crossover here, as you shall see, where it becomes more like the East Coast Main Line between London and Peterborough, where there's 2 ups and 2 downs next to each other. The 2 lines to the right there, at Slade Lane Junction, are going off to Manchester Airport. That's not simulated in this. Hopefully one day that will, because I really do quite like that line between Piccadilly and the airport. And I feel it's one that you can use a variety of traction on. And to be fair, this Hope Valley, this has really opened up such a large amount of opportunities in terms of different stock that you can use. What have we got? Have we got a single yellow in front there? Yeah, I think we'll just keep on as we are now. Yeah, so yeah, we really have got a large amount of stock you can run on this. I mean, think back to even post-privatisation, you've got 158s over it, as we are now, but with like regional railways, and then you've got central trains, Transpennine Express. I don't think Northern ever used to run 158s over here. I'm sure there'll be a picture online somewhere of one. There's always somewhere in the archive that you can find one, isn't there? Now, what is actually going on here? Are we following something else? Oh, look. Oh, a Pacer! Oh, Pacers are making a return to the Hope Valley. Look at that. Well, there was a 150 on the front for those of you that go, oh, it wasn't a Pacer. There's a 150 on the front, 142 on the back. There we go. I was paying attention. Yeah, so there is so much you can do. You've got the like 170s when it was Transpennine, and of course Central Trains. There really is so much that you can do with this. You've got the Alan Thompson Sim Class 185 that you can go racing up and down in. Ooh, double yellows. Perhaps we could go a little bit quicker. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I wonder if we can get a nice screenshot. Oh, look at that. Oh, hang on, no, we don't want to save it, please. We just want to just have a that. Lovely. This is where I get booted. Not booted out, but this is where the emergency brakes slam on, because I'm not paying attention. So yeah, that was Levenshulme Station. We've just gone through there. The stations on this are fantastically accurate and detailed. I really do like the stations on this. I must also point out, seeing as we're fairly early in the video, that I am no way affiliated with Just Trains at all. All the developers, of course. I know a couple of the developers, but or I know of them. But yeah, I'm not affiliated with them. So when I said this route is really good, I know that some people with the Studio Polygon B10 were like, oh, well, you will say it's good because you know, you're mates with Studio Polygon. Yeah, that might be true. But I thought it was good. I wouldn't say it was good if I didn't think it were good. But yeah, Just Trains, I'm in no way affiliated with them. I didn't get this copy for free. I paid £24.99, which is the retail price. And it is absolutely out of this world, as hopefully you are seeing. There's a 319 coming the other way. Look at that. So you can even actually, because this goes through Hazel Grove, you can drive services down to Hazel Grove just from Piccadilly. Just little electric commuter services. Fantastic. Oh, we're coming to a red. That's no good. We'll just come down really slowly. Oh, frame rate's taking a bit of a hit, aren't they? Yeah, I wonder what we're following. Must be something. Oh, our friend that we overtook earlier is flying down the fast line. Oh, hang on, we've got a green. Right, off we go. Full power. Yeah, we're racing you, Mr. Chester. You're not going to beat us. Ah, there we go, he's lost. Look at that. Flying past. Yeah, so that of course was Heaton Chapel. We're just coming up to Heaton Norris signal box, which is just in the middle there. And you've got Heaton Norris Junction, which I believe goes round to Staley Bridge. Is that where the Stockport Staley Bridge services go? I think it is. Where there's like one train a week, parliamentary. So that joins us from the left there. There was a couple of people that wanted that putting in, but I mean, it's where do you stop? You know, perhaps I'm exactly the same, saying, "Oh, put Oxford Road in," but then there'll be people saying, "Oh, just do a little bit further, go to Liverpool." So yeah, they haven't included that, but again, I don't think I'd ever drive that, so I'm not feeling particularly upset that they haven't. Now we're coming over Stockport Viaduct. It's very, very impressive. And when I say it's very impressive, you're going to look and think, nah, it doesn't really look that impressive. But what I urge you to do is actually go to Stockport and go down there and just watch the trains coming out there. Enormous viaduct. Really, really, really big viaduct. You've got the M60 there, that's the ring road, and probably... Oh, that pointy thing there. No idea what it is. Quite pretentious if you ask me, but... hang on, aren't you meant to be doing 20 just down here? Speed limit's not apply to you, Mr. Pacer. Evidently not, is what I will what I'll say to that. Look at that, he's absolutely razzing it up to those speed limits. We've got up to the speed sign. Voyager somewhere else. Did I see a Voyager? It's all happening a bit too much. Hopefully it'll all slow down past Stockport. There'll be a little bit less to see. Now we're actually coming in on platform 0. This doesn't seem to happen often. 0 seems to only be used really when all the rest of them are full. And I guess the rest of them are full, aren't they? Because there's a 142 in there as well. Okay, yeah, stop talking, Joe. Yeah, but Stockport, we have also gone past number 2 signal box while I was getting upset about... Oh, my lord! Oh, what's happened there? That woman's just stepped in front of the train. That's not good. Yeah, there is one thing I've noticed with this. The people stand very, very close to the edge of the platforms. I would rather that Just Trains redid it so that they'd be further back. You know, just not quite on the edge. You'll find a lot of them stood here as you come in, and like I say, that woman just stepped off. Ooh, it just makes me feel a bit funny when they do that. I'm not keen. Yeah, personal preference, of course. But oh, hang on, what's happening here? Where have I stopped? I stopped at the 4-car stop. But then there's a 3-car stop and a 6-car stop and a 7 and a 5-car. What on earth's going on with these stopboards? I wonder why 3 cars stop so much further down. Goodness only knows. I wonder if it's actually like that. Or if the 3 and the 4 car stops are the wrong way round. Lord only knows. But, yeah, dear me. Yeah, that's one thing I have picked up on. I would like, at all the stations, not just the big ones, I would like the passengers to just be stood a little bit further back from the edge. That would make me a little bit happier. Just personal choice, like I say. But yes, Stockport, if we... oh dear. Oh, yeah, we don't want to be doing that, do we? If we have a look round, it's all very well accurately recreated even. I don't know where my words are today. You've got a wheelchair ramp over there. You've got nice adverts over here. The keep off the track, nice Virgin Trains style Stockport signs, which are still there. Oh no, they've replaced them, haven't they, to Avanti now. He's off, like, he's not hanging about. A thing as well that I have noticed is they've not done the scenarios to the point where, like, the scenarios that have come with it are quite basic. Oh, there's a freight train coming through. So you do get one 185 scenario going eastbound, one of these, an East Midlands scenario going eastbound. I would also, yeah, there's things like the second the train door, or the second the train stops. There's something else coming in, is there? Do we get a Pendolino coming in here, or is that the 185 scenario? That might be the 185. Is there a Pendolino? Ah, there's a Pendolino. Look at that. He's flying around the corner. Another LMS one, but like the second the train doors shut, the train sets off, and I think that one sets off when I played this scenario before. I think the train actually sets off before the doors shut. Remember how it used to do that? Good lord, there is so much traffic here. Same as the second this stops, all the doors will fly open. And I think you can actually do it in Scenario Editor, where it doesn't. Like, it just doesn't do that. You can input delays. You can force delays, apparently. I mean, I'm not really much of a scenario maker, but, like, if we look here, that's not done it. Okay, that's, yeah, that's, they're completely made, I mean, it's not stopped at all, has it? There's no door release on that. A little bit weird. Right, let's have a look at the Pendolino over the way even. I mean, a lot of this could be the model as well, of course, don't forget. But yeah, I was talking to Magic Toad from who's on my Discord, and also the author of Magic Toad Scenarios, which I played a couple. Oh, good lord, Pendolino's on fire. It's not been pat tested. Yeah, he's the author of the Magic Toad Scenarios, which I highly recommend. He does little things like that. So maybe I'm just being treated with really good scenarios. There you go, you see, that literally the second the wheels stop turning, the doors are open. There's a little bit things like that, but I guess they're not really scenario makers, are they? They're more route builders. But yeah, hopefully we'll have some amazing scenarios from Magic Toad to show you over the Hope Valley soon. Anyway, is it time to leave flipping Stockport now? We've been here ages, haven't we? Absolutely ages. Right, let's have a look. Oh, there we go, finally. Right, let's get it in forward. There we go. We'll go for a notch 4 because we're a Perkins on the front, aren't we? Away we go. So we've got Stockport number 1 signal box just outside here. You'll see that in just a moment. I think you'll see that before we go under the bridge. No, it's only 20, isn't it? So we'll just knock the power back a little bit. Is that one over there? Yeah, there we go. The Stockport number 1 box over there. I don't know if they're still in use. I think they were still in use, and I don't know if maybe they've taken them out. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I think they've left them in. I'm going to go with that they've left them in. You know, that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Right, so we're coming up to... hang on. We'll go to notch 5. So there's Edgeley Junction number 2 signal box there, and Edgeley Junction number 2. So I think, could be wrong, but is that where you go round to Chester for the Altrincham line? Is that that one? And then I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm going to go with that it is. And then you've got Edgeley Junction down here with Edgeley Junction number 1 signal box, and I think that's where you go off to the south. Oh no, hang on, I think I'm mistaken. Oh no, I'm going to go with that. That's the Altrincham one. I'm really feeling that that's the Altrincham one. Yeah, and those are the ones to the south. Oh, I'm speeding round here, flipping it. Right, slow down. So that's Edgeley Junction, and we're now sort of on the Hope Valley. I don't really know what point it is actually classed as the Hope Valley. We were on the up lines there until Edgeley Junction, and we continue on the up lines. So we're on the up lines for most of this. Of course, for those of you, most of you will probably know anyway, but you have the up and the down, and if you're heading towards London, you're going up. If you're heading to wherever that's not London, you're going down. And if you're heading kind of like across, then it's kind of messy. But yeah, we are on the up through to almost Sheffield today. So we'll come off here, we're heading, our next stop is a little stop called Davenport. We're obviously not stopping there because it's a little station, which is it's where your Hazel Groves will stop. Just your standard commuter station at Davenport. I don't know if I've got anything interesting to tell you about that. There we go. Up to 40, please. Good lord, it's half an hour to Sheffield, or so it claims. Here we go, just rounding the corner into Davenport now. Right, so there we go. Oh, there's a few people waiting for it, isn't there? There's no tactile paving, is there? It's yeah, there we go. Right, yeah, no tactile paving at all. It actually looks quite like, I thought that it'd be a newer station. I mean, I've literally never properly looked at Davenport, but yeah, I thought it'd be like a newer station. You know, like if you imagine Kirkstall Forge or Appley Bridge or Horwich Parkway, that's like a relatively new station, isn't it? That's kind of what I assumed it would be like. Yeah, I kind of thought it'd be like that, but obviously not. We've got Woodsmore level crossing here that we're going over. I think, could be wrong, I think this is the only level crossing on the whole route. There you go, enjoy it. Oh, some fields, lovely. And of course, Woodsmore level crossing wouldn't be Woodsmore level crossing without Woodsmore station itself. These two are literally less than half a mile away from each other. Flipping heck again, I thought it'd be newer. Obviously, how wrong am I? Dear me. And I believe that these signals, because just on that signal post there it said HG, so I think it will be Hazel Grove signal box. Now look out for Hazel Grove signal box, because it's in a bit of an obscure place. Unusual, yeah. See, this is a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's 40 down here. It just feels so slow for what is essentially a straight line, but I guess it keeps the express stuff away from the stoppers, doesn't it? It gives the stoppers a bit more time. But yeah, you just sat on a train, just plodding through suburban Manchester here. It's very odd, isn't it, that like this wouldn't be quicker. And I guess the junction back there's 25, the junction here 45. There's Hazel Grove turnback sidings there. I must also mention, this video is not to be used by rail staff for route learning, where Joe points everything out. Dear oh dear me. Yeah, I don't want to be getting into trouble. Oh, well, we thought that we could route learn. No, absolutely not. I don't know how accurate. I could be spouting a load of nonsense. This is just where I think everything is. We've got Hazel Grove here. Can you see the signal box on the left there? Weird, isn't it? Slap bang in the middle of a station. Very, very weird. Very, very weird. Got the feather to go off to the left. I don't actually know where it goes if you carry on forward. I don't know, maybe Buxton? I don't know. I don't sign down there, so I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a bit of... We'll go with notch 5 just to get us up this hill, because it's really 1 in 45. It's a steep gradient. Come on, little 158, you can do it. That's Hazel Grove East Junction, and then we're coming up to a Hazel Grove High Level Junction just up here. There we go, we'll just ease off a little bit. And of course we're going up to 90 from here. We've got Hazel Grove High Level Junction. And is that Norbury Viaduct? Yeah, it might be, it's a viaduct, yeah. You can never quite place the viaducts on this because it can be sometimes quite difficult to spot from the train. Sounds weird, but like the definition of a viaduct can be like a slight bridge. So it's 70 on here, but sprinters can do 90. So obviously we've got mixed traffic down the Hope Valley, but things like 185s, because they're quite heavy, they can only actually do 70 down here, which is it's quite similar on a few routes. I know that the Scarborough line, the 185s are speed restricted because again they're very heavy. But I guess what that means is that the 158s can balance themselves out in terms of timings down the Hope Valley. Because yeah, the 185s are very quick on acceleration, but then of course they can only do 70, whereas these take forever to accelerate, but they can go quicker. So for timings, it works quite well. Got a bridge over here. I don't know or where that bridge goes. There's so much of this, like it was nice to actually have the Hope Valley line on Trainsim, so you can kind of piece bits together and see what's where. Coming up to Disley Tunnel now, and Disley Tunnel is the only one of the big 3 tunnels on here where you can actually see out the other end when you're on it, because it's a perfectly straight tunnel. Now, of course, we can't see out the other end on this because Trainsim only renders so far in the distance, doesn't it? But take my word for it, it's a perfectly straight tunnel, and when you're actually on board the train, if it's daylight, of course, if it's dark, then you kind of do struggle, don't you? Because you know it's dark. But yeah, if it's daylight, you can see from one end to the other. So it's quite nice. The light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. I mean, they're all flipping long tunnels on this, and even still 1 in 132, they were climbing at a hell of a rate up over the Hope Valley, I tell you now. And so we've got to 62 miles an hour, and struggling. We really are struggling, aren't we? Yeah, I always wonder, kind of like in tunnels, what to talk about. You know, oh, hang on, well, that would be a talking point if I forgot to cancel the DSD, wouldn't it? But yeah, I always kind of wonder what to talk about. But come on, somebody thinks something. Shout loud enough, I'm sure I'll hear you. I say the big 3. There is a couple of other little tunnels on this. 1 or 2. But yeah, the big three, you'll know the big three because we're in them for flipping ages like this. We're not actually going to get to 90, are we? We probably will get to 90 going in the other direction because it's downhill, but we've got gravity on our side. But going this way, yeah, I think we're going to have to just take it to 70 and kind of have done. Come on, 158, yeah, but well, you don't need to get to 90 now, do you? I suppose it gives the passengers a nice smooth ride. May as well just knock you down to 5, haven't we? Well, at least we're back in daylight and we can actually see things. So it'd be so useful if these 158s actually had speed set, wouldn't it? Now we're down to 70 now. On the flat. Yeah, I really am a fan of this route. I'll probably say it a few more times before we get to the end, but if you're looking for a good train sim route, this is absolutely excellent. We're just coming up to Newtown Tunnel here, which is not to be confused with New Mills Newtown. That's different. I imagine New Mills and Newtown are fairly close to each other. And of course here over Newtown Viaduct. And then round the corner we're actually going to join up with the Romiley diversion at New Mills South Junction. There should also be a little signal box on the right hand side here, you can just see that. Now that line is actually simulated in the Hope Valley as well, so that's a whole nother route for a whole other time, but occasionally due to either disruption or due to early, late night, due to short notice changes to the timetable, trains do go via Romiley from East Midlands and Transpennine, and of course the local stopping services from Sheffield over the tops don't go the way we've just gone to Hazel Grove. They actually go down through New Mills, Romiley, Bredbury and round to Ashbury's and Ardwick. So it's really nice that they've put both routes in so you can do the stopping services and the express services as well, because if they hadn't have done that you couldn't really do the stoppers, because again they don't go down through here, do they? So there's not really a lot more to do actually. There's not a lot to see for a little bit, but I mean, as you can see, absolutely beautiful views. If I just cross that off, look at that. If we just, I mean, I'm going to need a winning get that, because you're just absolutely lovely to behold. And we're not slowing down for the 65, Joe. You're too busy sightseeing. Can you just stop sightseeing? Look at that. Lovely. There we go. We'll go to 5. Oh, we're really slowing down. We did need full power. We're even slowing down on notch 7 on a 158. Good lord, very steep indeed. 1 in 90. What an incline. Of course, the 185 doesn't seem to struggle with this. The 185 just romps up over here. The 158s really do struggle, don't they? I suppose it's not their fault. We've got a disused station here. I don't actually know what that station is, to be perfectly honest with you, but you've got the old building on the right there. Come on, keep going. You can do this, 158. I think we're coming up to Chinley next, but I'm starting to worry that maybe I missed Chinley while I was busy taking those photos. Oh, and what's this coming the other way? Another 158. Ah, here we go, Chinley, the only island platform on the network here. Chinley signal box also just after the station. There we go, through Chinley. Oh, hang on, we're speeding again. Right, what we'll do is we'll just pause that. Hang on, outside the train, pause that, and we'll get a little... Ah, lovely. Oh, no, you can't get it without the doodah. If you... Yeah, when you pause it, you quite literally do mess everything up. Never mind. I always wonder if Chinley used to be a much bigger station than it is now, because it seems quite like where the railway is here, the two lines are still spread out. Oh, it's slowing down to 50. Right, we'd better slow down then, haven't we? Yeah, they seem very spread out. And at the same time, like, they don't come together again. Like, these two bridge bores here implies that it used to be 4-track, and the same again here. I wonder why, you know, it would be great if they restored it to 4-track, wouldn't it? Hang on, slowing right down for 50. I think we should be able to do this with minimal braking. Come on. Slow down, you flipping thing. Right, well, we're not going round there. I think this is Chinley North Junction, is it? Because we go round to the left here. That goes to the right. No idea where that goes. I think it's something to do with freight. There we go. Slow right down. It's actually quite slow when you think, like, of it. It's just quite a slow route, isn't it? There we go. And quite easy to remember because we've gone east. It's Chinley East Junction. There you go, joining back on. And I believe that forms a sort of triangle with the line that's just shot off and it joins back in. It forms a little triangle. Lovely. Nice how things work out, isn't it? Now it's going to take us flipping forever to get back up to 70. A little toot for the whistleboard there. And of course we're approaching the second of our amazingly long tunnels here, which is Cowburn Tunnel. Oh yeah, I said it. I didn't know at what point we actually joined the Hope Valley line. I can tell you now that we are on the Hope Valley line now. I would say that the actual Hope Valley line was from New Mills South Junction, where we join on with the line from Romiley. You remember back there where I got all excited and told you the simulated two lines? Yeah, I reckon that's where it becomes the Hope Valley. I don't know if there is an actual definitive point, but that's where I would say we were on the Hope Valley. The other two lines are just little pootly suburban Manchester lines, but yeah, the actual proper nice bit of the Hope Valley is definitely from New Mills South Junction onwards, because that's where it becomes all picturesque and just lovely. Ah, it goes to 90 here, so we can catch up with that 185 that's really far in front of us. I mean, I think it literally gets to 90 at the end of the tunnel. It really, really is a long way away. I did say this was Cowburn Tunnel, didn't I? I think, or is it Coburn? Cowburn. It's spelt Cowburn, C-O-W-B-U-R-N, but some people say Coburn. But they're wrong, because it clearly says cow, doesn't it? Dear oh dearie me. Oh, hang on, the train's shaking about all over the place, isn't it? I really wouldn't want to derail in Cowburn Tunnel. It's a flipping long tunnel, and I reckon it probably doesn't smell that great. There's just something about railway tunnels. If you're actually stood in a railway tunnel, what Spen Valley Greenway in Kirklees, I do reckon you take a trip to that. I recommend, sorry. Do you know what? My words are just not working today. That's what happens when you run earlys with work. Your words start just failing. But yeah, take a trip to that, because it's a disused railway. It's a cycle path now, and a walking path. You can walk through all the old railway tunnels. They're massive when you stand in them. Ooh, Sprinter 90, 185, sorry. Yeah, you can only do 70, me old chum. And of course it looks like we're getting a bit of downhill action, so we might actually get to 90. Oh, we're going to be flying along. Notice the semaphore signals as well. It's like stepping back in time, isn't it? Got a couple here. Oh, that one's up for us, lovely. And Edale Station just approaching here. We also have a signal box, which we should see just before we get to the station on the left-hand side. There you go. A couple of disused sidings by the looks of things. Yeah, it's not actually connected to the track, I don't think, is that? Shall we? There we go, Edale Station. Flipping out. Yeah, you got back. Get back in a hurry, please. Oh, hang on. Should we just... Hang on now, do we... Oh, it don't matter. You can just see it there, look. That section of siding is not actually connected. Neither is that one. So goodness only knows why they're still there. I guess they never got round to taking them away, did they? Look at that. Up at 90, flying along. Really, really pretty scenery, isn't it? I hope you all like the Hope Valley, because we're probably going to be spending a bit of time on it on this channel. I'll tell you that for free now. "18 miles from Sheffield, and they reckon we're going to do it in just over 15 minutes. Good lord. Right, let's have a little slow down here to 85. There we go. A little round to the left here. I think we've not been past Earl's Sidings yet, have we? I think that might just be round this corner. A lot of creaking from the 158 as we shoot along, doesn't it? It's bobbing about all over the place. Quite a camber as well if we go outside as well. And oh yeah, let's have a bit of that. I'm not taking the hood off at the bottom because I reckon we can probably get away with that in the thumbnail. I'm always looking for a new thumbnail, of course, for the video. The reason I actually picked the 158 to do this in, because many of you will have thought, well, why didn't you do the 185? I thought you'd have rather have done that since they're your favourite type. Well, the only scenario that comes with it is the scenario that Trainsim TV did on their video, on their showcase. So I thought, well, you've probably already watched that. You'll have already seen it. So it's just the same guy, or the same train, the same service, just been driven by a slightly different person who didn't build the routes, probably doesn't know as much stuff about it. So yeah, you would watch mine then, would you? Whereas this is a little bit of Hellfire 158 traction on a very sharp right-hand bend. I guess it's sensible that we went to 90 there, isn't it? That we went to 85, sorry, because that is quite the bend there. Power off a bit. I don't think it needed full power, but hey, we want to get to 90, don't we? We want to get our passengers there. Ah, there we go. Earl's Sidings, where there's often things in it. There's often things to see there in real life in Earl's Sidings. I don't think the locals like the trains, which always makes me laugh when people move next to a railway line and complain they don't like the noise of the trains, but apparently you have to turn your engine off there on your 66s. You can't sit there going ying, 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 ying. I do many other locomotive impressions for those interested. But yeah, you're not allowed to sit there yinging for a long period of time. I think you more or less have to switch your engine off straight away, unless you're like ready to go. So strange way of operating, but I guess it's their way of operating, isn't it? Hope Station here. This is like the centrepiece of the Hope Valley. Oh, get back, missus. Nice little footbridge at Hope there. Very, very pretty indeed. I tell you, it's like stepping back in another world, but it's a main line at the same. I mean, this is a main line, isn't it? You've got 2 express services an hour, one from Norwich to Liverpool and one from Manchester Airport to Cleethorpes, soon to be Liverpool to Cleethorpes. You know, and so this is a main line. But then it's semaphore and it's old-fashioned and it's wonderful. It's brilliant. I mean, this is the furthest south you'll go on Transpennine, isn't it? The south route in inverted commas. I know a lot of the northern Transpennine routes, a lot of the stations are quite modern and they've all been done up, whereas this is just lovely. Really, really lovely. But then you do have like the old footbridge at Garforth, don't you? And you have the the footbridge at Ravensthorpe and places like that. So maybe I'm just been biased towards the Hope Valley, but it really is pretty. Really is pretty. Can't deny that. So after Hope, we're powering down now to Bamford Station. And is it Bamford? It's not Bamford, it's Athersidge, where it has the funny houses on the left. Lovely neat hedges there at Bamford. Come on, up a bit of a hill now by the looks of things. So we'll get our foot down, or fist down, or whatever you want to say. We'll go with foot down. It sounds a lot more, well, just a lot more normal and politically correct. The only problem is that other than freight, because you do get quite a bit of freight down here. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. You do get quite a bit of freight, but in terms of if you're more of a passenger sort of person, the actual Hope Valley line itself only really lends itself to the East Midlands in inverted commas and the Transpennine for your express work. I guess it's different types of traction, isn't it? We'll just coast a little bit, get down to 75. The actual, the stopper work is northern, pretty much. That's all you're going to get. And other than that, it's just 3 trains an hour, 2 express and a stopper over here. So there's not a lot of passenger stuff to see. There we go, that's Athersidge with some rather weird houses on the left there. They are actually houses, look, they're like living apartments or whatever they want to call them. Keep braking. Really, really weird and not in keeping with the local area at all. I often wonder when I go past on the train, like, kind of, who agreed to that planning permission? It looks weird, ridiculous, like there's lots of old cottages and pretty little, like, typically British village houses. Ooh, 185. Do we wave at them? I know that they're the competitor, aren't they? They're the rival. Yeah, lots of little villages that are just pretty and picturesque, and it's what I always imagine, like, Americans think every single British person in the world live like. In a little village with a coal chimney and, stuff. It was very Downton Abbey. Yeah, that kind of... I imagine, like, the Hope Valley to be what every American person thinks we live like. But then you've got those... Oh, hang on, not lights. There we go. Put your hand on the right keyboard, Joe, for goodness sake. Yeah, and then it's that really ugly kind of modern-looking housing. Just bizarre. Bizarre. So we're coming round now. Our last station... before Totley Tunnel is Grindleford. It's like that somewhere out of Lord of the Rings, doesn't it? You've got the Grindleford signal box on the right hand side there. Grindleford Station, where it looks like it used to have a longer platform. There we go, Grindleford on the curve, straight into the tunnel there, stood there. Can you imagine standing on there just looking into that gaping black hole? Ooh, spooky. Spooky. If you're spooked out by such things, of course. I find it weird just watching in tunnels. You can see that light really, really far down of the train approaching that slowly gets bigger and bigger. But this tunnel's flipping long. It's over 3 miles long. Just like, good lord. A lot of mileage. And I actually think that this is the longest one now. Yeah, Totley Tunnel. This is the longest tunnel on the Hope Valley at over 3 miles long. I think 3.4 miles? Yeah, 3.4 miles roughly, if I had to guess. I don't know what that is in kilometres. You'll have to translate for me, kilometres, for our European audience watching. Yeah, we are really going to be in here for a very long time. A very long time indeed. Tell you. Oh, something going the other way there. That looks like the stopper. Probably will be the stop because we've just passed the 185, haven't we? I think the Transpennines go, what, 11 minutes past the hour at the current timetable, and the Northerns go like 13 or 14, maybe 14. I'm tempted to say 14, but yeah. Nope, there we go. Of course, that's a distance signal. I don't think you can actually stop in the tunnel. I wouldn't imagine so. Could you imagine being on a diesel train belching out all those fumes stuck in a tunnel with that? Yeah, I couldn't see that happening. Right, we're going to have to start braking, aren't we, for the 70. The light at the end of the tunnel is there. Oh, hang on, we've got a doodah. Oh, we need to slow down for 55, don't we? Good lord, right, bit of step 2. Oh, I've left it too late. I've seen on the hood at the bottom that it's been coming up for ages, and I've just left it till the last minute to start braking. Good lord. You've got Totley Tunnel East signal box on the right hand side there, and a little crossover. And you've got some countdown markers as well. Look at that. You don't see that every day. It's like we're coming off the M62, isn't it? Got a feather on the right there. That's for Door West Junction, where it actually makes a triangle with the current Midland Main Line. So I don't think any passenger stuff use it. Maybe empty stock. But yeah, if you wanted to hypothetically do an East Midlands scenario where Sheffield Station has fallen down, good lord, what are the odds? And you wanted to drive to Nottingham without having to change ends in Sheffield there, you could actually rejoin on with the rest of the Hope Valley. We're going to a little bit of single track now, just after Door West Junction, or maybe this is part of Door West Junction. We'll class it all as a little happy family together, won't we? Let's have a look. There's no tab. I'm just thinking I've not been paying attention to the signals. Bad train driver Joe, pay attention to your signals. Terrible, terrible, I know. And of course this will be familiar to you. You've got Door and Totley Station, which we go powering through. Some Transpennines stop there, every Northern does. And I don't know if any East Midlands do. I think they do Chinley instead every now and then. Yeah, so we're powering down here, and you'll see that is the current Midland Main Line. So if you've got the rest of the Just Trains Midland Main Line, which you should do, because this is only sold as an add-on, I think, the Sheffield to Derby line will take you down there. So I'm hoping that Magic Toad brings out a full scenario from Nottingham through to Manchester. Wouldn't that be fantastic? It'd be a lengthy scenario. We might have to do it on a stream sometime. But yeah, that would be really, really good to be able to do that. I'd be really pleased, to be honest with you. So that junction there where we came back on was Door Station Junction. And yeah, we're practically right away, full steam ahead, down into Sheffield. I wonder if we'll see any meridians or any cross-countries here. It's very weird to actually, without going anywhere near Birmingham, like a full route on Train Simulator, you can get in the northwest section of the cross-country trains, and also the northeast, aren't you? Because cross-countries, if you ignore the Stansteads and the Cardiffs and all the 170s, the actual Voyagers and HSTs, the route map kind of forms an X, doesn't it? So in the top left you've got Manchester, in the top right you've got Scotland, the bottom left you've got Penzance, and the bottom right you've got, oh here we go, talking across country, and in the bottom right you've got your Southamptons and your Readings. It's very weird on Trainsim to be interacting with both. Hang on, we've got a bit of a signal here. What's this? Double yellow, lovely. So we'll pop a bit of step 1 in, because we're going down to 40 anyway, aren't we? So it's pointless speeding up all the way to it. Oh, and now we've got the doodah for a 50. Oh, it says 40 on here. Well, that says 50. So what we'll do is we'll prepare for 40. And that says 15, which I can see that coming up. up a bit of step toing, because we are going downhill. Over a very blue bridge. As blue bridges go, that is one of the bluest. Lines just break apart there. I don't know what this is on the right hand side, but it looks like an enormous Eskimo lives there in a big igloo. Either that or it's Sheffield's answer to the Addon project. Where are we going now? So we're, oh, 40, we're off to the right. We're not going straight down here, right? Okay. It literally is a big igloo, isn't it? Look, you can see the little house, the little porch that igloos have. I wonder if there's just an enormous, like, king of Sheffield that lives in there. An enormous, great big Eskimo king. Right, hang on, we need to slow down, assuming this is a red, don't we? Oh, it's a single yellow. Good job. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's gone to red. Oh, we've got position lights. We're going in platform 7. Ah, yeah, that'll be interesting. I did point that out as a thing, like, oh, it does kind of, I don't know if it's to slow you down, but yeah, I mentioned that to one of the developers. It was like, oh, I'll have to have a look at that. But there we go. If you weren't able to recreate it, that's what I'm experiencing, and I don't know if anybody else driving these scenarios will have experienced that. East Bank Tunnel, just there. Maybe it's that one, maybe it's this next one. Oh no, this is more a bridge, isn't it? See, I don't like this, personally. Not that I don't like, it's not the route, I just don't like this way of doing things. Like, apparently this meridian can sit here. Like, they can pull right up to this signal here. It just looks wrong, doesn't it? Like, they can pull out of the station and sit at that signal. I mean, could you imagine if they had a spad and ended up over our line and we ended up belting into them? It's just, yeah, I think it's just a bit weird. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. You see, that might be East Bank Tunnel, this might be East Bank Tunnel. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe they're just together. Maybe they're just tunnels together. They're kind of, they are each, and or maybe that's Sheffield Station Tunnel. I don't know. But yeah, here we are arriving into Sheffield. This is where today's journey will terminate. Well, do you know what? I thoroughly recommend this Hope Valley. I hope you enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. And recommend you follow the link in the description to buy yourself your copy if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope that today has been an informative video and that you've actually enjoyed yourself. You might have picked up some route knowledge and actually really enjoyed your time on the video. I just wanted to show off, look, this is a route I know. I can actually tell you all about it. But yeah, so yeah, please do leave a like. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe for many more amazing train sim content. We're definitely coming back to the Hope Valley, and I would absolutely hate for you to miss it. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Cheerio! Goodbye for now.